In 2017, CMI pursued its development on the 5 continents. We'll start with Asia. In China, CMI obtains its first contract for the supply of a thermosolar receiver. It will call on the CMI melted salts technology and will produce electricity 24 hours a day. In the gas channel, Wuxi, CMI's Chinese licensee, has sold 5 CMI boilers. By doing this, it helps to position CMI as the leading worldwide supplier of recuperation boilers for 2017, with 31 boilers sold. CMI Industries to construct ovens and thermal treatment lines for Nanshan. In Indonesia, CMI Defense wins an order for 10 turrets for the Indonesian army within the framework of a multi-year program. CMI Energy is to supply 3 recuperation boilers for the Grati power plant. In India, Myanmar and Bangladesh, CMI Industries to supply 4 galvanizing lines, an organic recoating line, a rolling mill, and a complete steel-making complex for JSW, Bushan, JFE, Meranti and PHP. In New Caledonia, CMI Services expands its offering with the reconditioning of 2 boilers and a large contract for lifting on the whole of the Valley site. In Iraq, the Suleimania project, for which CMI constructed the 8 boilers, is elected Best Project of the Year by Engineering News Record magazine. CMI Energy is to supply 4 boilers for the Besmaya site and 10 boilers via its licensee Wuxi. In the United Arab Emirates, CMI Defense presents its latest innovation at the IDEX Fair. This is a drone integrated onto a combat turret with an Agiris immersive simulator. CMI continues with its development in Africa with a contract in Kenya for the treatment of drinking water. CMI also sets up in the Ivory Coast and signs a memo of understanding for the supply of drinking water. In Tunisia, CMI supplies 3 locomotives for the Gafsa Phosphates Company and a boiler for Mitsubishi. In Morocco, CMI creates an environment branch and continues to develop its activities in the maintenance of thermal and hydroelectric power plants. Let's move to South America. In Chile, CMI wins a contract for the revamping of a boiler on the Huenco site and of 4 accelerators for GE. In Brazil, CMI concludes several contracts with Petrobras for the maintenance of drilling platforms and land bases. In North America, in the United States, CMI delivers 2 equipment prototypes for the American Army and the thermal treatment oven for titanium alloy producer Timet. In Canada, CMI Environment is to construct its first stripping installation for a composting center. In Mexico, CMI Industry wins contracts for a lacquering line and a skin pass at Galveston, along with the complete surface treatment installation for the automobile industry. In Europe, 2017 was also rich in completed projects. In Belgium, CMI creates CMI Energy Storage, a new activity dedicated to green energy storage. CMI is to supply a regenerator for the largest center in the world for the reactivation of activated carbon and is to work on the reconditioning of reactors at the dual power plant. Within the framework of its very large AB program, CMI Defense extends its production and training infrastructure to 5 sites in Belgium and France. CMI Services develops its rail and urban transport pole with the acquisition of Belgian company Transurb and French company CIM, which completes its offering with simulation systems, supply of spare parts and signaling solutions. In France, CMI acquires EFR in Lyon, a specialist in thermal treatment, and creates CMS Hydro, specializing in hydroelectric maintenance. CMI Environment extends the network of Aquaged with the acquisition of Agua in Paris and the setting up of 3 new installations. CMI Environment wins several orders for the treatment of industrial waste, in particular from Safran in Évry. In Corrèze, CMI is to construct the first oven destined for the production of wood-based roasted pellets, enabling the use of biomass in coal-fired power plants. CMI Services has obtained an A, the highest evaluation mark, from EDF for various services on the nuclear power plants at Gravelines, Paluel, Blayais, Tricastin and Chaux, and takes further orders. It also wins a substantial contract for pipework from ArcelorMittal. CMI Industry continues to win orders for surface and thermal treatment installation, mainly for the aeronautics industry. In Spain, CMI Industry is to construct a new coal steel-making complex. In England, CMI has entirely renovated the boiler of the King's Lynn power plant, a world first for a revamping of its magnitude. In Austria, CMI Services is to carry out the pipework for boring a new tunnel in Lower Austria. In Poland, CMI is to supply its first boiler of Euronorm conception for Mitsubishi, a surface treatment line at Lizzie Aerospace, and a painting unit for ArcelorMittal Poland. In Russia, Severstal has selected CMI to supply 2 new steel-making recoating lines. For CMI, 2017 is also to be the year of the celebration of the bicentennial of the group, the occasion to rediscover its history and to reassert the innovative and entrepreneurial dimension of its DNA. Africa, Asia, Middle East, North and South America, Oceania, Europe, in 2017, just like John Cockerill and its successors, everywhere in the world, CMI has provided innovative and technological solutions to respond to the great challenges of contemporary society.